Hello, everybody. Hello, Ruel.
Hello, long time no see, and I'm liking your choice of attire today, my friend.
Thank you very much. Folks, did you know you could get your own Tabletop Tonight shirt, and all the proceeds go to this man, but you have to go to my wife's Etsy shop. Actually, if you go to, I believe, merch.rado.com, you will find a few Rado shirts and a Tabletop Tonight t-shirt. And,
awesome.
Of course, if you're a subscriber, actually, I never cleared this with you. I offer people a discount for subscribers on my shirts. Would that apply to this one as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I truly appreciate you setting everything up and having Jen's store offer Tabletop Tonight shirts, because I don't offer them. This is the exclusive place where you can get those Tabletop Tonight shirts, folks.
Yes, folks. Merch.rado.com takes you to the place. And if you are a subscriber here on Twitch, or a backer of the show on Patreon, or a member on YouTube, which is to say, if you give me money in any way, shape, or form, direct message me. I'll give you a special code so you can get the discount on the Tabletop Tonight shirt. So you can show Ruel and Michelle and all the pugs all the love, all the time, everywhere you go.
Thank you. You look refreshed and relaxed, Richard,
really?
after a couple of, I feel like you do.
I'm freaking out. I am freaking
Are you really?
out because I haven't live streamed for 3 weeks. Thank you very much for stepping in.
It was my pleasure, and I want to thank everyone who stopped by and watched the streams. I had a lot of fun playing games. I played the pinball game, Super Skull Pinball last week, and then before that, I played Evergreen. I mean, just both wonderful games. So I want to thank everyone who hung out with me during those times. We got to chat, and I will say this: the last episode, we talked more thrash metal than has ever been talked about on the Rado Run Through show. So I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think you were doing a this or that, right? And it was probably Kabuki just saying, Death Squad or black midnight or whatever. And just over and over and over again.
Yeah, totally. It was. So thank
I'm a
you.
Death Squad guy
was
myself,
awesome.
obviously.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But it is good to see you back where you belong here in your studio and hanging out on a Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month. We do this here every month, folks. And we're going to do some catching up with you and the RV, living the RV life.
Yes. For folks who don't know, Jen and I recently bought a 2003 Winnebago Brave 30W, and it was in California. We flew down to get it, and then we spent I think we were 8 days on the road. 7 or 8 days on the road, driving back from the Bay Area back to here to Southern Washington and just stopping and spending the night. Actually, we spent a few days first at my brother-in-law's place because he actually scouted out the rig, did all the testing, the test driving, made sure it was fine. He gave us all the ins and outs, so we were ready for life solo on the road. We had a I can't even imagine what most people go through the first time they get an RV and just go out on their own. Ron really put us in a good position, so we were ready for, well, I'd like to say we were ready for most anything except for all the crap that happened, which he did not prepare us for.
I think that's so cool that you have your brother-in-law to, basically get you up and going. Because normally, if someone just walks into a lot and buys an RV, do they have to go to like RV school or what do they do?
No, you're not required to. In most of the states of the country, unless you get to I believe it's called a Super C, which is effectively an 18-wheeler with a house on its back. Short of those, I don't know of any states that require you to have any kind of special license. There are classes you can take, online ones and in-person ones. But I think most people, they just get they watch a few. They go to the class of YouTube where there's plenty of videos, and I watched many hours of them. Trying to make sure I had everything we needed for life on the road. But no, nothing beat just sitting down with a family member who had been doing it for years and, staying at his house for a few days and him introducing us to all the little things we would have to know, except again, for all the things that he didn't tell us about that we had to know.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about it. Real quick question. So when you're behind the wheel of this RV,
of a large automobile.
Yeah, does it just feel like a big automobile, or does it feel like you're like in a like a
well,
truck
ours is basically the equivalent of a city bus, a small city bus. So it handles very differently than a car. And of course, the fact that we are up at the same height, sitting in our seats as a big rig driver. We would on the freeway, we'd say, "Oh, I'm making eye contact with you now," as we drive by or they drive by us. So being up that high really changes your perspective and I think gives you a level of confidence because you just have more overall situational awareness. You're literally up above looking down on everything. And we have a Class A, so it has ridiculously ginormous windows out the front. So we just, and because we're in a Class A, we're really close to the front. So, we could almost feel like, we get to see the road right, at our feet. So, so that helps a lot, but it is slow to respond. You start turning and it feels like, about 2 seconds later, we're going to start moving. That's not the case, but that's what it feels like. And of course, any kind of wind, you are buffeted. You're, whoa, what was that?
Ooh.
I'm sure you've been on roads and you've seen, truck winds. RVs also have to pay attention to that wind.
Oh my gosh.
Jen I drove about 50-50 and, when we weren't driving, I think we were white knuckling it more than the person behind the wheel. Because anytime there was a sudden movement, no, it's just wind. They're like, okay. It's kind of like being in a plane, and the pilot doesn't care about the turbulence. The pilot knows it's nothing, doesn't even bother to reassure the passengers. We're like, oh, we're gonna die. So that takes a bit of getting used to.
What about like brake wise? Like when you're hitting the brakes, is it the same thing as turning? Like you have to hit the brakes way sooner than you normally would.
It's got decent braking. If we slammed the brakes as hard as we could on the freeway for some reason, we would skid, and I don't think we would stop anytime soon. Definitely kept a lot more. I don't know. Do they still teach kids in driver's ed the two Mississippi rule? Did they teach you the two Mississippi rule?
Yeah, they did, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Seems like nobody follows that, but I do in my day-to-day life. But I've upgraded to a 3 or 4 Mississippi rule as far as I'm concerned, just because. It's gonna. We got a lot of mass, and they're good brakes. But actually, my dad not I was going to say growing up, but when I was a teen, my dad was always on me for, hey, when you're going downhill, don't ride the brakes. Let the engine do the work. Put it down into second or first. You're supposed to do that. Never done that in my life. Definitely got into the habit of it very quickly with this thing, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just downshifting and okay, cool.
Yep.
I was just going to ask you something. It just flew right out of my head. I forget. It was something related to the RV. So braking, steering. So you did take 50-50 on the road. Now, are we going to jump right into the stories? I want to know about the story about you all doing some winding roads.
Oh, yeah, I got pictures. We got pictures. I have prepared a slideshow with, I don't know, 10, 15 pictures or something like that. So we can get going with that. Or do you want to do the contest giveaway first, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, why don't we? Yeah, let's give away a game and then
let's make somebody rich, shall we?
Let's make someone rich, yes, and then we'll get into it. Welcome everybody. By the way, thank you for hanging out for the R&R pre-show. We'll be doing our top 10 games we buy right now, but this is the pre-show. You all get to see the fun stuff that we get to do that doesn't show up on YouTube later, unless you're watching the extended show. And we're going to give away some stuff right now.
Yeah. And by rich, I mean $50 richer. One lucky viewer of the last R&R show who found the secret word and sent it in is about to get a $50 gift certificate from sponsor of the show, Fun Again Games. Let me shuffle them up one more time on the old wheel of names. And here we go.
Oh, okay. Cool. Wow, there's a lot of names on this one. Okay, winner. Who's got the chicken dinner?
Ash Puro? Press? How do you say Ash's last name there?
Puro-e? I don't know.
Puro-e?
Puro-e?
Ash?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Ash. I will be contacting you later today with the information you need to be able to get your gift certificate. And of course, folks, you want to stick around and watch the show, you will get secret inside information and make it easier to find the secret word so you could win $50 gift certificate next time. And of course, if you subscribe to the show, oh, by the way, thank you, Nazgoth, for resubscribing. You've been with us for 11 months now. Thank you, AA Risings. You've been with us for 8 months now. Thank you for the sub. And, yeah. So, if you subscribe, not only do you get a fun little avatar down there to fart and hug people, you will actually get a little bit of insight into where the secret word will be. But anyway, okay, so task 1 done. Ash, I'll be talking to you later. Task 2, do you want to do some of our normal back and forth stuff, or you want to go right to the picture time?
I'm really excited to see these pictures. Maybe way more excited than I should be. But, I just know that it's an epic trip. And Michelle and I, we actually watched that little clip that you did. We watched it twice in the RV. So I want to hear all the stories. I want to see all the pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then, folks, we will do some of the other fun bits that we do, but let's get right into it.
Okay, let me find it. All right, where did I put this? I put this in R&R Images. Whoop, there we go. Okay.
All right.
That's Jen. Apologies for the vertical. I probably should have spent time this morning cropping them, but this was our first picture that we took inside. Jen just sitting down at the table. Nice. Very comfortable indeed and very happy. That is now our avatar on several online services that we have signed up for finding campsites and all of that. Hey, you're off center. You want to scoot your camera a little bit?
I could scoot me in here. The first thing I realized, it looks super roomy.
Oh my gosh, it's so roomy. Once you put the slide out, it is a dream, this thing. We are so incredibly happy with it. And we did play several games on that table. Unfortunately, I wanted to really push it. I took Carnegie, and we were so busy doing on the road stuff that Jen's like, no, we're not. I do not have the time and the mental bandwidth to learn a really big, heavy game on the road. So we just stuck to, we played Fantasy Realms and Star Trek Missions and Marvel Remix over a few days. I have opinions about them. And a few other little, we just mostly stuck with lightweight games because Jen just was like, okay, I cannot learn a heavy game. There's so many things we're having to do, so many things learning. But yeah, I mean, so freaking roomy and so bright. Even on overcast days, we did not feel like, we got to turn on all the lights in here because all the windows are nice and big. Although, interestingly, all of the windows are tinted except for the front windows. So we didn't realize this, but people outside can't see us, but we can see them.
Oh, really?
Which was quite nice. Yeah, I think that's aftermarket. Cool. I don't think that's standard.
Okay, right on.
Right.
So I'm looking right above Jen. Are those lights right there? Like
Yes,
underneath the cabinet?
these are what do you call them? What's LED lights?
Mm,
So
okay.
the
Yeah.
low energy lights that run off the house batteries. Toilet paper, the sink. Oh my God, the sink. Okay, so like I said,
Uh-oh.
right up front, we spent a few days. Here is outside. That's Ron, and he did
Oh.
so much, so much. Ron, I guess you could is a professional Mr. Mom. Really. Although
Nice.
he does, I mean, he is like he's one of those handymen.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not a handyman. I don't know if you're a handyman. I get the feeling you're
Uh,
not.
Not really. Yeah. I
No.
could do some stuff around the house, but yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a handyman at
Yeah,
all.
I mean, he pretty much, a couple of helpers built their house with his own bare hands. And so he does stuff
Oh.
for people all around the neighborhood, helps them build fences and repair barns and when he's not, taking the kids to school and stuff like that. So he had
Awesome.
time to spend 3 days with us and doing stuff like, power washing the thing down. That's what he's up there doing. He also recaulked the roof because it was a little old. It could
Oh.
use some sealant, so he did all of that. And he had
Wow.
done so much work for us. And right behind Jen is the sink. So we were there for, like I said, 3 days. Jen was with him too. I was working, and as you saw, I was doing videos and whatnot while
Yep.
mostly at that table with my laptop. And Jen and Ron were doing work. So the night before we leave, we're gonna leave tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's one thing. Our kitchen sink has really bad pressure, really bad flow, and no hot water. And Ron says, "Oh yeah, well that's probably the original faucet. It's probably just completely worn out." And we're like, well, "We can live with it." And you're like, "No, we're gonna get that fixed." One last thing, and he lives way out in the middle of nowhere, so our drive to Home Depot
Oh my gosh.
I think hour and a half drive. So
Wow.
so no, this was midday. Hour and a half drive down to Santa Cruz, beach boardwalk. Everybody have a good
Wow.
time. That's a jingle from my childhood. I don't know if they still have the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk on commercials in Central and Northern California. But anyway, so we drove down there. They went to Home Depot. They got a replacement faucet. And I have nothing but respect for Ron and my wife, Jen. But I was still out in the car working, so I have an excuse. They went in to get the replacement faucet and some other stuff. Didn't take the old faucet in.
Oh no.
Didn't take the old faucet in to do an old A-B comparison.
Oh no.
Nope, sure didn't do that. So
No.
they get home and they've done everything else. We'll save the faucet for the last. That's gonna be so freaking easy. That's gonna be such an easy job. They find out, it doesn't work. It doesn't fit because
No.
the original, the older faucet, each, what do you call it? Handle, each
Yeah.
dial had individual lines coming down, and the new one they got had multiple lines just coming out of the center, and
Yeah.
all the piping underneath the sink is hard, plastic tubes, no soft. You can move stuff around, so nothing fit, and so they
no.
and so that's a problem. And we're like, okay, well, fine. We took it apart, found out we can't put it together. Fine, no big deal. Let's just go on ahead and put it back. But here's the deal: all those plastic pipes, they have plastic, bushings or whatever to tighten things in. Those things strip really easy. So trying to put it back together, they stripped out, and all of a sudden, we have no plumbing in this car because if we turn on the water pressure, we can't close this. And by now it's like 8 o'clock at night when they tried to fix it. They tried to do some stuff to maybe make it work, and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
And so it's 8 o'clock at night, out in the middle of nowhere, and Ron says, "I'll be back." He gets in the car,
Oh my
drives
God.
an hour there and an hour back to another shop that was closer, some other alternate to Home Depot, I don't remember what, to get to get enough stuff to basically MacGyver together a solution. If Jen were to get up and we pull back that cushion, there's a door that gives you direct access to under the sink, and you would see the tubes going to the sink from the nether regions of the rig is a crazy MacGyver contraption of like 6 different things all plugged
my
together to make it
goodness.
all fit. So Ron went out, spent an hour there and back getting this stuff, and by now it's almost 9, 10 o'clock at night. We're working in the dark. He gets it all together, turns it on, has the two things hooked up, and one of them just starts leaking like crazy. And like, why? The other one's fine. This one's not fine.
Oh
Why is one
gosh.
working? And bangs his head against the wall for a while. Can't figure out what's wrong. They were both done exactly the same. Jen says, well, is one of them missing a washer? And he said, no, there's no way it could be missing a washer. These are special washers that are embedded into. Wait a minute, there's no washer here. How is there no washer here? And he says, I bought this had to be the only one in Home Depot because these washers, they don't fall out. They're just embedded in there, and this isn't one. And they're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Wow. And by this point, I mean, he was at his wit's end. We sit in silence for a little bit. He gets up and he leaves. He just leaves the rig. And we're like, is he coming back? What's going to happen? And so we're talking and we're trying to think, well, what can we do? Well, I guess we just need to take a bucket. If we're going to use the toilet, we'll just need to do it the old-fashioned way, with, put the water in ourselves and stuff like that. And he comes back. Did I mention earlier, he hand-built his own house, and he had found amongst all the junk refuse a few pipes that happened to have the exact right washer.
My goodness.
It was a freaking miracle at 10:30 at night. Puts it in, hooks it up. Jen, moment of truth, turns the water pressure back on, and Ron says, yay. And we're like, what? No! He's like, no, that's a happy yay. He was very tired.
Wow. Yep. Ron is the true hero.
I know, yeah, it was incredible. We told his wife, my sister-in-law, Jen's sister, Becky, about the next day, and she said, yep, that's Ron. He will not stop until it's fixed.
Good for him.
Yes, Ron, you were amazing, and again, did so many big things and little things for us. Took us on a test drive, because we want to drive up Highway 1, which is a very wide, narrow, squirrely coastal road, the Pacific Highway Road. And he said, no, your first drive out, you shouldn't do it. You'll be miserable. It'll make you want to sell the thing. But then he lives out in a bunch of windy roads, took us out. Jen did okay. And he said, wow, when I drove, you're almost as good at me at this. And I said, well, yeah, I was literally trained by the United States Postal Service to drive 30-foot rigs. Back when I was in my 20s and I was a mailman.
That's right.
So I've actually got a fair bit of training in that regard. So he was like, okay, you know what? Maybe you guys can do it. It's probably going to be okay. So Ron, Becky, thank you for putting us up. Thanks for all the help. They have a standing offer. Whenever they want to get away from the kids, the RV is sitting here waiting for them. They can take it as long and wherever they want to take it. Nice. So they've got a free RV rental for life as far as we're concerned. But anyway, the next day, after some final washing, we get on the road. Oh, that's Shasta, one of their two dogs, who, cool. Ron had this thing for 2 weeks and was doing all kinds of things. There was like some broken dials and whatnot, and he replaced the air pistons to hold the doors up. And so Shasta loved, that's just where Shasta spent all her time while Ron was working on the car. But anyway, so we hit the road. Everything's going fine. We were low on gas, so we make our first gas stop. 8 miles to a gallon this thing gets.
Oh,
75 gallon tank. So I won't do the math for you, but that's part of it. So we get in here, fill up, have our sticker shock, even though we knew full well what was going to happen. Get back in the rig in this little whatever we're in, Texaco, on the side of the road, on the Pacific Highway, and engine won't turn over. Totally dead. Totally flat. Nothing.
No.
Just totally dead. And we're like, what the what? Ron didn't say anything about this. What the?
No.
Nothing. And actually, that's not true. He did. He said, he was telling us, so here's what all these switches do in the dashboard. And Jen didn't remember this, but fortunately, for some reason, it stuck in my head. And this switch over here, if your main battery ever goes dead, you can start the engine with your house batteries. And flipped it, started up, no problem. And then, so it turns out, while we were pumping, we were at this gas station for like 20 minutes figuring stuff out. It's incredibly hard to get this gas cap off. It's this really weird Byzantine lock, to try and safety-proof it. Because, hey, if you could get into that, you could siphon a lot of gas out of this thing. Yeah. So we had left the headlights on. And apparently, don't leave the headlights on in this thing for 20 minutes. We might need to get a replacement engine battery, maybe. We did replace the house batteries. Maybe we need to replace the engine battery too, if it went dead with 20 minutes of the engine off and the headlights on. Anyway, though. Yeah. So we hit the road. Things are going great. Drive the Golden Gate Bridge. Not the most pretty day to drive the Golden Gate Bridge, I have to say, but we did it.
Yeah.
And, here's where you become aware of just how narrow these lanes are. These cars fit fine. We're over 8 feet wide. We barely fit. I'm driving at this point. I'm white knuckling it. Jen and I, over time, we developed some shorthands. If I say lane check, she has to because here's the deal. We have really great mirrors. They'll tell you anything you need to know, but while I'm doing this, and all I can do is just look at my left, it feels like an eternity to turn my head this far and look at the other mirror, and I'm afraid that I'll go over, because if you turn your head, you're inclined to drive that way a little bit, right?
Yep.
And so both of us found we were, in a tense moment, we were too afraid to actually look at the other window. So if I wasn't sure, we just say, lane check, and the passenger says, okay, 6 inches, okay, a foot, okay, you're on the line, okay, you're over the line. So that's one of our things. Lane check, lane check, lane check. Thank you, Timmy Blue, for the sub. So, but I mean, everything went fine. Actually, driving through the streets of San Francisco to get to the Golden Gate was actually just about the easiest, because for anybody else it would have been miserable because it was bumper to bumper. It took us like a half an hour to go half a mile. But we're like, oh good. Gosh. Nothing's coming at us fast, and everybody can see us, and everybody will give us room. So, but that's fine. We hit the road, and then we're driving north. Jen's taking pictures. I had no idea. She took a ton of pictures of me driving. I didn't take any. I in one of my videos, you do see her briefly driving, and she literally drove for half, and she drove through some of the scary stuff too. But I mean, you'll get the impression that I was the only one driving from these pictures. But this was after we pulled over, and I'm doing fine, can keep going, and
nice.
So we get to Glass Beach, which Jen has wanted to go to for years. I forget what town it's in. I want to say Fort Bragg. And it's famous for all its beach wash glass. I mean, it's just a lifetime supply. This is what Jen found in less than 10 minutes of just, nice sand-blasted glass. The squirrels at this beach, oh my God, they are the fattest squirrels I have ever seen. They are very well treated, these squirrels. I am playing mind games with this squirrel because I have nothing in my hand. But these squirrels have no fear. And they fully expect, you hold your hand out like that, there's going to be a peanut or something. And I'm like, no, this is just for the photo op, squirrel. Sorry, I have nothing for you.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So did you have all these stops planned, or was it we'll just stop wherever?
No, we tried to play it by ear. The night before we left, amongst all the other stuff with the sink, we're also, what's our first stop going to be? Where's our first stop going to be? We stayed at a winery, which is where I actually filmed the coming soon video for the week, walking around this little parking lot we were in. And then, and we didn't figure out what the next day was. Jen knew she wanted to stop at Glass Beach. She knew there were a couple other places. I wanted to stop at the Redwood Forest, which I'll have pictures of. So we knew we had a couple things we wanted to do, but we were just playing it by ear, just seeing where the road took us and what we would find. So here we are back on the road. Now, north of Glass Beach, things start to get a bit more narrow. This isn't too bad. You can see, look, there's still a lot of shoulder there on the right side. There's if something big is coming your way, we can go over the line. Lane check. Okay, you're on the line. Okay. But as this road kept going, you can see now there's practically no shoulder. And I am not smiling here. I did not know Jen took this picture. I am at, what is it? 3 and 9. And for the next hour, we went through the most ridiculous, squirrely, switchback mountain roads that were incredibly narrow. We felt like we were on European roads all of a sudden. And the whole time I'm just like, ugh, and anytime a car would come, and we eventually made it through. But Jen took over driving afterwards, and she said that she could literally feel the sweat on the steering wheel.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah. So we made it. And this is what Ron warned us about.
This point?
What?
Yeah. How fast are you going through?
I'm probably going 15 miles an hour. This is a slight upgrade. I could probably go faster, but no. I mean, I was trying to. For a while, I tried to use the engine, but no, I am not messing around with the engine slowing down. Yeah. I'm going to ride the brakes through this entire thing because this was all uphill and downhill, insanely ridiculous. Narrow roads. When we were done, we actually looked at it on Google Maps, and it's just like this crazy spaghetti. Like you just dropped a bunch of shoestrings and just, this is what we drove on?
Wow.
And we've definitely learned after this, whenever we're going to drive, we're not going to be quite so laissez-faire. Hey, wherever the road takes us. Let's take a look at the road. Let's use the little yellow man and drop him and see what these roads actually look like before we commit to this particular road. Because on this same day, Jen drove over a mountain pass that we both thought, wow, that was like 45 minutes. And that was really bad to get to Fort Bragg. And we thought, oh, that was really nasty. But then we did this, and we're like, okay, well, this has scarred us. We will definitely approach the road differently. When we finally made it through, we stopped, had to take a break, had to get out. Jen took a picture of the bridge we took over. There we are on the other side of the bridge, having survived our first truly terrifying drive. And she's looking great, the Bravo. I'm pretty sure we're going to call it the Bravo. It's a Brave.
Bravo.
Our previous RV was a Bongo, so there's a nice symmetry. The Bongo, now the Bravo.
The Bravo. Oh, I love it. That's cool.
Yep. And then we continued on. So this is where we spent the second night. This is in a farmer's open field. You can't see it. There's like 3 or 4 other RVs. They're just camped out here. He had a corn maze. We got there too late to do the corn maze, unfortunately. We kind of wanted to do it, but that's okay. We just settled down.
Did you just go to some random farmer and say, "Hey, can we park here for the night?"
I'm sure some people do that. We signed up for several things that are like, hey, $50 a year for this service. One of them is called Harvest Hosts. And you basically say, hey, where are we going? Here's all the farms and wineries and churches and individual people's homes that have a bunch of space that they have basically turned their parking lots or their open fields into RV B&Bs, effectively.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, and you're not obligated to pay anything, but it's common etiquette that wherever you go, you end up buy something for $20. So Jen bought, she needed a sweatshirt anyway, so she bought a sweatshirt from this farm that had a really cool beagle on it, or a dog on it that she really liked. So, so we got a place to stay for free for only the cost of a nice sweatshirt, a hoodie sweatshirt that Jen needed anyway.
Wow, that's great.
Yep, that was our second night. And then the next day, we kept going north, and we went to the Redwood Forest, and there's this very cool thing called walking through the redwoods, where we are 100 feet up. There's Jen crossing one of the bridges, and these are bouncy bridges. I think, and both Jen and I said, we trust the engineers. They know what they're doing. So we were very bad. We were like bouncing on them and skipping on them and stuff like that. And other people with their kids were like, okay, let's just wait for the crazy people to go, because we were having fun with them. But there's a picture Jen took of me. There's another picture Jen took of me vertical. You can see me in the center all the way down there. And it was just so cool to walk amongst the redwoods, not on the ground. We actually walked down below them later because there were hiking trails down below there too. I don't think we took any pictures of that. But
looks just
so
like
that was
Endor from Star Wars or Return of the Jedi.
Yes. I even know where is Skywalker Ranch? Is it in Northern California? Were we far from Skywalker?
In Marin, right? Marin County, right?
We drove by it. Oh man, that would have been cool. Nice. So this was fun. This was just a fun stop.
That's a cool picture. I love that shot. That's a great photo.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. That's awesome.
I actually took a selfie stick that I had, and I forgot it the entire time. So every shot is just my built-in selfie stick. But it gets the job done. Shot. Okay, so back on the road again. More waterfront stuff. And again, I had no idea Jen was taking all these pictures of me. But you can see, I'm much more casual now.
Yeah.
I am not gripping the steering wheel so hard it's going to snap. Let's see. Just a random place on the side of the road. Hey, that looks pretty. Let's stop. And just stretch our legs. There's a rule. There's the 3-3-3 rule. Whenever you're traveling with an RV, do not drive for more than 3 hours without stopping to spread your legs. Do not travel more than 300 miles in a day. And get to your final destination by 3 p.m. We were not following the rule as well as we should, but we have a much better appreciation for the rule now. Definitely. So yeah, we just had nice views like that. Oh, okay. So our next exciting encounter, you know about the black tank, right?
Yeah. So what are those pants right
Those
there?
are my pants. This is me in my underwear at a gas station at the 777 Lucky Casino, which I think was still in I don't think we were into Oregon yet. So here's the deal. The black tank has all the unspeakables, all the fecal matter and all of that, as you might imagine. And over time, it fills up. And we've been off-roading. We have not hooked up to any place. You saw how we were sleeping. We were just in the middle of a field or in the middle of a parking lot. We were completely self-contained. And we're like, hey, you know what? Okay, let's go to this particular casino because it is like 50 cents less for gas than anything else. Jen has always been cost-conscious about gas. I never really have been, especially because we drive a Prius. So when we fill it up, we're going to throw 6 gallons in. 50 cents one way or the other, who cares? But when you are filling 50 gallons, it adds up really fast. So we went out of our way to go to this casino, and they said, we've got a dump, whatever it's called, an RV dump out back. It's that little. Where are we? It's this little hole right here. And hey, we're probably 3/4 full. Let's go on ahead and do this. Ron, when we got it, it was empty. Ron showed us the basics, and so we knew how to use the hoses and all of that. So I get over there. Jen wants nothing to do with it. And we don't have any gloves yet. Everybody says you got to have gloves. We need to get some gloves. So you can see I'm going glove free. Get the hose out, plug it in here, and then there's like
you're barefoot too. Oh my gosh, you're barefoot.
Oh yeah, yes. Because during travel there are valves that keep all the black water and the gray water. Gray water is just shower water, dish water. The black water, of course, is what came through the toilet. And it's supposed to keep them tight, but apparently we looked up afterwards, it's really common. There are all kinds of aftermarket add-ons you can get to deal with the fact that, there's always some leakage. As the car bumps and goes down the road, there's going to be a little bit. So I was kind of prepared for it, but I wasn't prepared enough because, I have no gloves. I know I'm going to have to wash it with my hands afterwards. We already have the dish soap. You can see there's a little outdoor shower right next to it. It's so you can clean yourself up when you do this. Okay. So I go and open it.
No.
Not it was like bounce on me. And I jump back. So none of it got on my shirt, but it totally got all over my shorts. It got all over my shoes. And all right. Well, I smell terrific at this point. But we still have to finish it. And Jen says, here, take off your shorts. And so she grabbed we had a scrubber, and she just scrubbed them down, and they were left to dry in the midday sun while I walked around in my underwear and finished my work at this point. And it went fine after that. And so we did ultimately do another dump. And so what we learned is, hey, we don't have anything special to deal with. We don't have gloves yet. You know what we do have? Plastic shopping bags. Hold the plastic shopping bag, hold it tight, and then open it, and then into the plastic bag. Yeah. Second time went perfectly flawlessly. First time, last time for being not drenched, just little speckles of stuff. You could just see little dots on and you're like, you knew what every single one of those dots was. So, and this is it. These were I had a pair of pants and I had a pair of shorts. So,
wow. I'll tell you, this was probably the last thing I thought I'd see today is a picture of you in your underwear, but you know what? We're all here for it.
Yep.
It could have been a lot worse, I'm sure. So that's,
Oh my God.
Wow.
I did not Jen caught me as I'm sniffing my fingers. Because by now I had already tried to, get under the fingernails and stuff like that. So,
oh my
here, smell my finger. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let's see here. So moving along. Okay, and then this was the next place we stopped.
Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, we were actually going to stop at a state park that was, I think, $10 or $15 a night. That was where we were going to stop. But as we were driving across this particular bit of coast, we saw an RV pulled over, and we didn't understand. We didn't know what the rules were. There's everywhere you go, there's signs. No camping, no camping, no camping. But we saw, hey, this RV right here, this Axis, they have their slide out. They have clearly stopped for the night. And we're still, 40 minutes away from where we're going. It'd be really nice just to stop and not pay $15. So we pull over and we ask the guy, hey, what's the rules? And he says, you can't camp, but there's nothing saying you can't park. So we parked.
Okay.
Apparently, if you take anything out of the RV, then you're camping. That's what he told. I don't know if it was true or not. But we spent the night. It was a beautiful view as the sun set. We're looking west, so we got to see the sunset out our ginormous front windows. This is us. It was very nice. And we woke up the next morning, walked the beach. There I am, walking alone. There's some nice stuff. And that's pretty much it. And then the rest of the drive that last day was heading back to Portland to pick up the dogs. And Daisy immediately got very comfortable, as did Gert. And that's it. And then we drove home. And and that's how Jen feels. That's how we started. That's how we feel right now. That was the trip.
Cool. Wow. So, it seems like, obviously at the start, it was a bit much with the plumbing and everything else. And then just getting used to white knuckling those tight roads. But overall, it seems like it was a success.
Very much so.
And the stuff that you recorded came out great. Are we going to be seeing more? Are we going to see more Rado on the road in the future?
It's interesting. Jen is talking to a friend of hers, old high school friend who lives not too far away, that they might do a girls' weekend away out to the coast, and not next weekend, but the week after that. We also want to drive up to Seattle because what we really want to do is get e-bikes. Something I never experienced before. Yeah. Oh, I did. I didn't put any pictures on the last place. That was That was the next to the last night. The last night we stayed in the driveway of an RVer. You know, using that same system, they say, hey, $10 a night, you can stay in our driveway. And so we did. Her name was Catherine. She was very nice, and she had e-bikes. And she highly recommended them. So we got to ride around her e-bike. She let us ride them. We're like, oh my God, have you ever ridden an e-bike, Ruel?
No, I haven't.
They're
I want to.
They're freaking amazing.
Yeah?
They're so incredible. They're so much fun. And so we're looking now. We're trying to find ones that can fold down small enough so they can go into the under storage bins or maybe store under the bed. Jen pointed out, they can maybe even store in the shower too. So but you pretty much have to buy them sight unseen on Amazon and just hope you feel good about them. But we did find a place, an aircraft part dealer in an airport up near Seattle or up near Tacoma or up near Olympia that has this particular one brand that folds extra small in stock. Because apparently pilots buy these things. Because pilots of small planes have very, very tiny cargo holds. And they get to whatever airport they're going, and then they have to walk a half a mile to the actual terminal from wherever and so it's a really common thing that pilots get e-bikes so they can just zip back and forth to their plane. So we're thinking about doing a long weekend and staying up at a campground in that area and trying out these e-bikes and see if they're comfortable, because it is kind of, for Jen it'll be fine, but for me it's going to be a little small. So that's probably going to be our next trip or Jen's trip. And then the other thing we're thinking about, we had kind of written off doing Dice Tower West because we just didn't want to fly. I remember we had the whole thing with our flight canceled, and we're like, but driving is a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was doing some research into where do you park your RV in Vegas and whatnot. So we might be going to Dice Tower West in early March. Because Jen wants to do she already wanted to do something in April maybe, but she could do it earlier. Utah, the Moab State Park, I think, or
yes,
is that what it is? Moab?
Yeah, there's Moab and there's like Zion National.
Yeah. So she wants to do maybe like a month tour of those, or a couple weeks or a month. So we might say, hey, let's do this for the month of March and start off at Dice Tower West and then keep driving. So that might be a thing.
Amazing. And there's also around that same time, I think there's SaltCon, which is in Utah. I
didn't even think of that.
Yeah, around then that time. So. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, so instead of dealing with, flights and airlines and stuff, you just drive yourself and get down to Vegas.
Yeah. It's spendy. It's spendy in a whole different way, especially these days with gas up at, we definitely downloaded, there's an app called Gas Buddy. Are you aware of Gas Buddy?
Yes, I am aware of Gas Buddy, yeah.
Gas Buddy is my best friend now.
I was just gonna say that probably helped you tremendously.
Oh yeah, that's how we found the casino. There was this one place that had $4.50 when every place else for 50 miles was $5.50. The Lucky 777.
Nice.
Yep. So only if you pay cash though. So cash. That's a tricky thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. So does it take? Is it diesel or is it?
It is regular, just regular unleaded.
Just regular unleaded.
Diesels are generally more expensive. Yeah. There's a lot of pros and cons. They're more powerful. They require less maintenance. They're louder, but at the same time, they don't bother you as much because the engine's generally in the back, whereas for the gas engines, the engine is in the front, so you hear it. But, I mean, honestly, we were surprised how quiet this thing was.
Oh, really?
We were expecting it to be a lot louder when we were on the road.
Yeah. So it's... I mean, is it loud as far as like, I mean, you're up there, there's wind going and everything. I mean, how is it compared to like a Prius or whatever?
It's not far removed from just a regular gas car, we found.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
Depending on how bumpy the road is, there's a lot of rattling inside because houses weren't meant to be driven down the road at 55 miles an hour. Which, by the way, I have never really used cruise control much in my life, but I am a cruise control at 55 for life now.
Yeah.
Everybody, you can go right on past me. I'm just enjoying the ride. 55 is enough for me in cruise control.
Nice. So sleep-wise, I mean, you had good night's sleep. I mean, we saw the pictures, that you shared of the bedroom, and it's got a bunch of windows.
Very comfortable bed. Okay. The only problem the night that we stayed literally on the side of the road, that was a very busy road. So, we kind of regretted pulling in the way we did so we could have the sunset view out west. We should have backed in so we wouldn't have had our heads right by the road.
Oh, okay.
That would have been another clever thing. If you want to see the sunset, you can just step out. You don't have to look out through the window. Get your head as far away from the busy road as possible with traffic all night.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounds like it was a success. Are you going to be
Smashing
taking any
success.
trips soon together? I mean, you talk about Jen's girls trip or whatever, or
We're taking it easy. We're in the middle of a bunch of other stuff right now. Including, my mom passed a few months ago. One of the ways we were able to pay for this thing is because my mom had a house. I'm in the process of trying to sell the house, and we're dealing with that because that's going to fund this, or my quarter. I get a quarter, my brother gets a quarter, and my cousin gets 50% of the sales of the proceeds of the house. So and it's just a little tiny cabin out in the middle of the woods, so it's not going to sell for very much. So we're dealing with all that kind of stuff right now. But definitely, we might do another quick trip to go check out these e-bikes because we'd really like to. Our plan had always been, well, hey, let's just get a small car, and it breaks our heart. Let's sell our Prius, which we love so much, and get like a 4.2 or a Chevy Spark or something like that, do a trade-in kind of deal so we could tow that. But Ron said, no, get e-bikes. Get e-bikes. And if an e-bike, if it's too far to go on an e-bike, then stay at a different campground. And so we're really going to look into those because again, after having ridden them, they're so much freaking fun. And we plan on taking.
Are they light like a regular?
No,
bike,
they're not.
Like
they are heavy.
Like
the battery's like 5 pounds. The engine's like 10 pounds. So the lightest one I could find was 37 pounds.
Okay.
Which is heavier than the heaviest normal heavy mountain bike. Heavy mountain bikes, that aren't made for super lightweight stuff. Those are going to be like 20 pounds. These are heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never ridden one. I've always wanted to ride one, but it doesn't it moves. It's like, you're not pedaling, right?
You can. It's not like they are called pedal assist. So you don't have to. But you want to because the more you pedal, the longer the battery's going to last.
Right.
But we were riding this thing around and we were pedaling lightly, like it was just a nice simple breeze, and yet we were going up a hill like this, and just pedaling really chillaxed and laid back, and we feel like we're the biggest stud muffin in the univerce because we can just we're not going to break a sweat biking up this hill.
Right. Gosh. Very cool. Wow. Thank you for sharing that with everyone, and folks, anything you need to know about RVs, this thing I had to talk to now.
There you go. Yeah.
You are now an experienced RVer.
I would still say we're novice category, but we are gonna work on that.
Yeah.
So we've been completely ignoring the audience all this time. I don't know if they've been deluging us with questions. Let's see. Where is the? Oh nope. Nobody's been asking questions with a question mark. But I do see, folks, if you have any questions for us, we're about to do the R&R Show. Afterwards, we will do a Q&A. If you have any questions about what we talk about in the show, or games, or us, or our lives, Ruel's life, I was too much about me. You did talk last week about how it looked like your insurance company had finally settled with the contractors. Yeah. Is that right?
That is correct. So we've check is in hand for us, and then we're gonna have to pay the restoration company. It's not exactly the figures we were hoping for, but at this point, I'm just like, it's been 6 weeks. I just want to go home. And so now the plumbing's done. Well, now it's just the restoration of the home, putting up new drywall, carpet, paint, all the stuff, bringing all of our stuff out of storage. This is another couple of weeks, a few more weeks. Yeah, it's not been fun, and I would not wish this on anyone. But again, thankfully, we do have a roof over our heads, and we're relatively safe in the Airbnb. We've got the pugs and everything. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm tired of it. It's honestly too. It's been a wear mentally, just mental health wise. It has been it's just been really tough. And Michelle even she could tell that it's been wearing on me. But hey, you just got to deal with it, and there are resources out there, folks. If you have mental health issues, talk to your local healthcare provider, and hopefully they can set you up. But yeah, that's where we're at. Just again, now waiting for the work to be started and completed over the next few weeks.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.
So once you start talking about
you should be back home.
I hope so. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Oh, it was funny. Right when you said plumbing issues with the RV, I just, oh my gosh, it was just like, it's like I'm traumatized now.
Yeah, that's a triggering word for you. I apologize.
But
trigger warning. No. We're talking about plumbing today.
Yeah. I might get triggered by that word from now on. But I'm glad everything worked out for you. There was one comment, Wes Lloyd. was asking, how far do you think you might take the RV in the future?
Well, I mean, like I said, me, as far as I'm concerned, coast to coast, baby.
Wow.
Jen's really nervous about it. I grew up living in a 42-foot steel hull sailboat that my dad, another handy man, built himself from scratch. And we traveled I lived for years in that thing. Me, life on the road is no big deal at all. For Jen, that's a much bigger commitment. So we're doing baby steps. Like I said, I was shocked when she said, maybe we'll do a month in Utah and I was like, whoa, that's a big jump for her. But, by this time next year, maybe we could be planning for a 6-month on-off thing. Because imagine, we drive down to Utah and don't turn around and keep going. Go see friends in Austin. We lived in Austin, Texas for years. Go back to New Orleans. I mean, and we enjoyed that so much. Head down to Florida. Go back to Corning, New York. We drove through, the North Carolinas are so beautiful. We have never been to the Northeast. We have never been to Maine. We have never been to Boston. Seeing all that stuff. And then drive back through Canada and see so much up there. And, I painted a picture, and I think the wheels are turning in her head. So we will see.
Wow. Amazing. What? Yeah, I would love to see Canada that way. Just drive back from the east coast of Canada through there in an RV. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Forest of Glass, thank you for the well wishes. I appreciate that. Kabuki Kid was asking, did the chicken setters do a suitable job?
Yes. Again, our neighbor who loves the chickens did a great job. There were no problems. Everything's fine. We've got a very good setup for that. I don't know that she would ever adopt the chickens, although she has a pretty big backyard. She could. Not that we're to that discussion yet. I don't think we'll ever go full-time on the road. But I can imagine a 6-month on, 6-month off kind of thing might make sense for Jen. That's probably as far as she would be comfortable. Oh, by the way, thank you, Cassandra, for resubscribing.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, we still have to do the show. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
We chit-chat for like an hour, and then we do the show for half an hour, then we do Q&A, right?
That's what we do.
What we're supposed to be doing. Are there any outstanding requests? Oh my gosh, there are so many freaking outstanding requests for features.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
We can do one quickly before we get to the show?
Yes, I think we need to. Is Delta Von Tussle in the chat? Yes, it looks like Delta. Delta is our first request for a game sommelier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm excited about it. We have not done one yet.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
So
we haven't done a sommelier.
No, we have
yet.
not. This is our first one where we have an epic responsibility to get this right. Delta last month. Sorry it took so long, Delta. Right. So I've got some channel points to burn. My wife's and my 3 favorite games are Castles of Burgundy, Roll for the Galaxy, and Calico. Castles of Burgundy, Roll for the Galaxy, and Calico. And so our game sommelier, I'm going to mark as complete now, means we have to suggest other games for Delta. Based on Castles of Burgundy, Calico, and Roll Through the Ages. So,
wait, Roll for the Ages or Roll Through the Galaxy?
Roll for the Galaxy. Thank you. That's a very different one. Yes.
Very different game. Yeah.
Yeah. And audience, by all means, definitely jump in as well. So the thing that binds those 3 games together for me is tiles.
Yes. Yeah, first thing I'm thinking too.
I mean, Roll for the Galaxy is kind of tile adjacent. I mean, you build tiles, but it doesn't really. It's not like there's any adjacency type stuff. Which now that I think about it, is too bad. Where's the expansion that actually cares about how we put tiles next to each other in Roll for the Galaxy? That would be amazing.
Yeah, right.
Tom Lehman, we might get to work on this.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Roll for the Galaxy with okay, yeah. So same thing. The tiles right off the bat. Just we talked about Calico. I'm thinking the next 2 or the other 2 in that sort of like line from Flat Out / AEG. We've got Cascadia, the Spiel de Diar winner from last year, and the one that my copy just popped in the mail yesterday. Verdant, which was kickstarted last year. I think if you want a heavier experience than Cascadia, you're definitely looking at Verdant, right? There's a little more going on there.
Yeah, Verdant is very crunchy.
Very, very crunchy.
From the same group of designers and developers, yeah.
Yep. So Molly that one I would recommend.
I can't remember their name.
Sean Stankiewicz.
And Molly, not Molly Shannon. Molly Johnson.
Molly Johnson.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I would definitely recommend Verdant, and that should be released real soon here, retail. Tiling, oh my gosh. Cascadia, and then we're talking about Castles of Burgundy. Well, I mean, can you recommend another Feld?
Well, I mean, first off, right off the bat,
Yep.
if you like Castles of Burgundy and you like Calico, I don't see how you're not really going to enjoy from Feld Castles of Tuscany, which is basically a very lightweight, super duper express Castles of Burgundy. And for the same token, Castle of Burgundy, the dice game, which brings in the dice from Roll for the Galaxy, of course, and Castle of Burgundy, the card game too, which is basically 80% of the Castles of Burgundy experience, but done in half the time. And twice the table real estate.
Twice the table. Yeah, I was going to say that card game, the first time I played it, we were blown away. We're like, oh my gosh, we're using the entire table for this game.
Yeah, I know.
But I liked all the Castle of Burgundy editions as well. I think they're all excellent games. Roll for the Galaxy is an interesting one. I'm trying to think of something with a ton of dice, but sort of that, engine building. Well, if you want something lighter along those lines, you're looking at like something like Fantastic Factories. Lots of dice.
Oh my gosh, that's a fantastic suggestion.
Right? I love that game, especially with the expansions that come out. Now, they have two different expansions. One of them is a little more in-your-face, punchy, but the other one is, just more of the good things of Fantastic Factories, extra resources and stuff. So I think for a dice-chucking engine builder, I think...
I don't think you can do much better than that.
Yeah, a really wonderful game. Someone mentioned Manhattan Project Energy Empire. I have not.
That is a phenomenal game. That's going to be at the heavier end. That's closer to the complexity. And there is dice rolling, but it's don't get me wrong. It's a phenomenal game. It's in my top 20 games of all time. And who suggested it? Kabuki.
I think it was Kabuki. Yeah.
Let's see. If I like Castles of Burgundy, would I like? I mean, I do. I love them both. Castle of Burgundy in my top 10. Manhattan Project Energy Empire is in my top 20. Yeah. But I don't really see the connective tissue between them, other than the fact that they're just really good, interesting Euros. Manhattan Project Energy Empire is a worker placement. He did not say any of his top 3 games are worker placement games. Delta.
Right. Right. Oh, okay. Here's a great Wes Lloyd recommend this. I fully get behind this one. Pulsar 2849. I think that is fantastic. Excellent game, and it's got that Castle of Burgundy. You've got the dice. You can manipulate them.
A really great draft. A really great dice draft. Yes. With that whole thing of figuring out the median and all that.
Yep.
I would say the only reason not to go with that is if you don't like space, but clearly they like space because they had Roll for the Galaxy on the list. Wow, that's whoever suggested that.
That was Wes Lloyd.
Good call.
Yeah.
Okay, we just have to stall for a little bit, and the audience will do all the work for us.
Seriously, yeah. Someone had mentioned Sagrada, which for dice management. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Sagrada. Yeah.
For dice management, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would put Sagrada in roughly the same basket as a Calico.
Yeah.
Right, and that was one of the 3, right? It was Burgundy, Galaxy, and Calico. Yeah. It's to replace the dice or replace the tiles with dice. That's a good one, and especially at this point, honestly, I wouldn't necessarily recommend Sagrada. I would recommend waiting until Sagrada Artisans comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Quite frankly, I would wait for that because that is Sagrada with like 5 expansions worth built in and a great campaign that you can keep playing after you're done. I don't know when that's coming out. Probably not till next year, though. But
Right. Awesome. Someone had also mentioned Role Player. Oh, yeah. Kabuki mentioned Role Player. Yeah. Or Kitty Cat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another good one. Dice. Let's see. What else is everyone recommending here? Oh, Dinosaur Rar and Write. Interesting.
Now, he didn't mention anything about roll and writes, and a lot of people hate roll and writes. But if you like it, actually, I'm of the mind that it is maybe not the most complex roll and write. Because I the other day when I posted a little thing about it, I said, this might be the heaviest roll and write I've played. And it's like, well, no, Hadrian's Wall. I'm like, no, Hadrian's Wall is more complex, but Roar and Write is a heavier, deeper game than Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah, I love Roar and Write. It was one of my favorites. It's definitely in my top 10 roll and writes. But yeah, if you like roll and writes, Delta, then this one might be right up your alley because it's crunchy and it does have. I mean, it doesn't actually have tiles, but you are writing the little texture.
You're drawing the tiles basically.
Yeah, basically, and that with that one, it's interesting because you can't have them like right next to each other, right? You can only do like corner to corner, I think, in Raw and Write. But very, very cool puzzle. Well,
you know what? That's it. First game sommelier done. I think that was a good selection. Plus, I'm sure Let's see. The audience had a good suggestion. Honestly, of everything we just said, I think Fantastic Factories.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That game is so phenomenal, and so overlooked, criminally so.
I wonder why that is. Is it because it's too like quote unquote cute? Because the art is sort of cute.
It is cute.
Right?
It's cute industry. That's a weird mix. It's not like there's cute big-eyed animals making you fall in love. Oh, they're really cute factories and really cute processing stations.
Like cute little construction hat or whatever. Or helmet. Yeah. Yep. But if you haven't played it, folks, Fantastic Factories really lives
and
up
I
to
see Delta saying that he plays a lot of Nations Dice solo.
Oh,
Fantastic Factories is fantastic solo.
Agreed.
It is so good.
Yeah. So there you go, Delta. Some recommendations from your favorite game sommeliers.
We are the best sommeliers ever.
Yeah,
that went pretty
I think
well.
we are the first. We may be the first sommeliers.
No. I borrowed this from a very popular long-term podcast, which I still can't remember the name. Is it like The Spiel? Is it The Spiel? It might be The Spiel.
Okay. Yeah. Is it? Oh my gosh. What's the
I want to say Conway.
Stephen Conway. Yes. Stephen Conway. Yes.
Yep. I used to listen to them regularly, and this was a regular segment they did, and I always thought, oh, that's so clever. And I had to look up what a sommelier was. I don't know if they still do it. My apologies, guys, if you still do. Yeah. Don't come after us with your meeple coats.
Yeah, please. This is all an homage to.
Yes, exactly. Yes, a loving. Right? All credit where credit is due. I mean, they're the OG board game podcasters, really. Them and Tom and Scott Alden, really. All right, cool. Okay, so we have given away something. We already did that early. Oh, we haven't battled to the death, so let's go on ahead and do that really quick.
Oh yeah.
Battle Royale. Let's see if I remember how to type it in. There we go. And let's remove.
There you go, folks.
Words. Control save. And hopefully folks can hear it. I know you couldn't hear it. I mean, we tried to get Ruel's sound to work. Yeah. Oh my gosh, audio is such a nightmare. But oh my gosh, look at this turnout.
Wow, there's a ton
Billy
of
Pratt immediately just stands out. Billy Pratt thrown down with like 3 people at once, and they can't take him down. Oh, but he's running now. You better run, Billy. Everybody's got your name out. You've won a bit too often. And I can't find him in the middle of the scrum. He's trying to break free, and Wesseloid takes him down. But Wesseloid was gravely wounded, and Feldfan stabs him in the back while I stab Feldfan in the back. And then Corthane and Feldfan tag team to take me out. Okay, what's going on now? JW Spiker, Linneas Cabal, and Retsam, and Keltonian. Oh, it's coming down to the wire. Oh, God, I've disappeared amongst all that. All right, I'd say the odds-on favorite right now is going to be Retsam or JW. Retsam takes out Corthane. Linneas Cabal thinks he's got the line on JW Spiker. There have been... Oh, there's the health pack. I was just going to say, where are the health packs been? Linneas, you should have run the other way, buddy. Is JW going to get that health back? If so, it's probably all... Oh! JW says, I need no health. I will face Retsam without. And Retsam says, okay, thanks, I'll take it. Retsam heals up. Oh my gosh! JW, turn around! He gets a health back too! Okay, this is for all the marbles, folks. Both half health, both toe-to-toe, sword stabbing, getting closer and closer. Retsam is going to get the first backstab. JW, you better run. And it wasn't good enough, JW.
Wow.
Whew.
Epic. GG. Well done. Enjoy the gold.
3-3-4-9. Congratulations.
Wow. I gotta admit, last week when I was when I took over I filled in for the last couple of weeks, the battle royales were always a blast.
It's so fun. Yeah. Very silly.
And, very silly fun. All right.
Alrighty. So let's get set up. We put that on the screen. Now you have set up the body bot stuff, right? In my absence. Is that still working now that I'm running? I have no idea how Nightbot or any of that stuff works.
It should. I'm going to drop a command right now in chat. Let's see if it works.
Because in theory, then I don't need to turn the floaty text up on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. No. You know what? Okay. So I can do that. Nightbot. But the thing is, I turned off the timer. So I have to turn on the...
I'll just keep my floaty text up there. It's fine.
Yeah.
And apparently Kabuki Kid says Nightbot is a jerk.
Nightbot can be a bit of a jerk, yeah.
Don't you? Didn't I mean? Doesn't that mean you're a jerk? You set it up, right? You type in
Well,
whatever strings you want to say, don't you?
Yeah, I blame it on Nightbot.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, let me see if I type in Ruel. Oh yeah, Command Ruel brings me my YouTube channel. Cool. Cool. All right. So basically, I put in command for everybody. So if you want to type in Command Kimberly, you'll bring it to her channel, and you can type in Amy and Maggie and bring it to their channel. Blobbity blob. Blibbity blob. Blibbity blob. Okay, cool. So that's working. Did I just lose audio?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I heard you typing.
Okay, good.
I was just getting ready to, because I totally forgot to actually set up all the links for the top 10 we're about to do. You know, Fun Again sponsoring and all. Oh, shoot, I forgot to set up the Fun Again sent a new image. I got to do that. Let's see here. Okay. So you chat for a little bit with the people. Yeah. And we got to figure out a secret word and stuff.
Yes. So, folks, I just typed in Command Rado. And, folks, if you want to type in command, which is the exclamation point, and commands, it'll give you a list of the commands that you can do. The command that for Rado right there is to the BGG Guild. And if you go to the guild, folks, you'll get a very it was a really cool so basically Kimberly and I, we met at Gen Con this year for the first time, but then recently I was going through some old Google photos. I was looking for a costume idea for Halloween, and I happened to in my photos I was searching for San Diego Comic-Con, which I was last there in 2017, because I took a bunch of pictures of cosplayers. I want to get some ideas, and within these photos, folks, I noticed that me and my buddy Oscar, who I'd met there, we were playing some games with the CMON demo team. And there was a woman that looked really familiar. I was like, oh my gosh. And it turns out, well, go to the BGG Guild, you'll find out exactly who it is. How's that for a tease?
There you go.
Okay. Secret word, Wes Lloyd is recommending plumbing or explosion. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. And Wes Lloyd, we have a question. We can answer that during the Q&A afterwards. We'll save that. Yep, that is queued up, ready to go. Thank you. Yeah, again, folks, if you have questions, start it with a question mark, and then we'll come back and answer as much as we can after
depending on how long the show goes, of course.
Yes.
So do you want to go with plumbing?
Yeah, let's go with plumbing, I guess.
All right, well, can you make it work?
That's yeah. What are my games? That game, no. I could probably work it in on one of them. I just gotta, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it.
You do? Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. Because I'm out of practice. Alrighty, so I am not worrying about the secret word plumbing. Ruel will be saying the secret word plumbing. So all ears, listen to him to win the $50 gift certificate. We'll explain how if this is your first time at the show. Thanks for showing up, everybody. I see Cassandra requested this or that. Oh man, we are so far behind.
Yeah, we'll do it during the Q&A. Yeah. We can do it afterwards, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So, let me check to make sure the browser view is fine. Browser. Yep. Okay. Well, I can get rid of that download bitmap link.
Oh, some of the suggestions are great. So funny. Linnaeus says maybe the secret word could be underwear.
Or fecal matter.
Or fecal matter, or dead battery. Sploosh.
For all the Archer fans out there.
Hilarious.
All right.
Oh my God. So we will go with plumbing, friends, and I will be the one saying it. Of course, because you're watching here on Twitch, you get to know exactly who hears it or who's going to say it. Friends on YouTube need to watch the video without knowing who's going to say it.
Okay, I have set up all of the scenes, so it should all be good to go.
Okay.
Right. And cool. If you're ready to go, then we can begin the show. The really big shoe.
Let's do this.
All righty then. All right, folks. So, in case you're new here, you'll notice up there we're saying for a little bit we're not going to be able to respond to events from the audience or say thank you for subscribing. Although let me say right now, thank you for subscribing. It's supporting the show. We're getting closer to unlocking more bonus videos like the 2 that Ruel did for the previous 2 weeks. Thank you very much. Sponsored by you. But we are going to get going and do this top 10. And then we'll see what we do afterwards.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So you ready to go?
Good to go, sir.
All righty. Hey everybody, this week's episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by Fun Again Games. And hello, Ruel. How are you?
Hello, Richard. Welcome back. I see that you look rested and relaxed from the RV life that you and Jen have been living.
Oh, yes, we are van life for life now, or hashtag van life for life. We've gotten home. I have scrubbed the smell of the open road off, which is a special meaning for people who watch the extended edition of the show, because we just finished, gosh, what did we do? Like 30, 40-minute long slideshow of all our adventures of our first extended road trip, and all the highs and all the lows that happened while we were on the road. So, folks, if you want to catch any of that, hit that eye in the top right corner screen, because you can just watch this and get just the games. You're here to hear about 10 games, we're going to give them to you. But if you'd like to hear about a whole bunch more stuff, including our first game, Sommelier, which I thought went very well also, you can hit that eye or follow the link down in the show note to go to the extended version of the show. I've been gone for a while. Ruel held down the fort in my absence. Thank you very much. You're ready to go, though, right?
Yeah, my pleasure filling in for you. But yes, we are back here in what we love to do, the R&R Show. Let's talk about some games, and I'm ready to go, sir.
Well, before we do that, we need to talk about the secret word. The secret word this week, folks, is plumbing, which has very deep meaning for both Ruel and I. And so, Ruel, what does this mean? Why do they care about the secret word?
Well, the reason why they care about the secret word is, folks, you're going to be watching the list here, our top 10 games we buy right now. And during our run through here, you're going to hear one of us say the word plumbing. And when you hear that word, write down the name of the game that we're talking about that moment and send it in an email to contest@rowd.com, and you'll be entered to win a gift certificate, I believe is what we're giving away today, correct?
Yes, $50 gift certificate that you can use for purchases, and it covers shipping as well for Fun Again Games, the sponsor of the show. So keep your ears peeled, get that email sent, and you could be the lucky winner, which we'll be drawing just before our next R&R, which I forget when is going to be. Oh, I don't know. We'll figure it out. You can always go to twitch.tv/Rado runs through and look at the schedule and see what's coming on the channel. So keep your ears peeled, folks. And otherwise, we're here to talk about all of the some new games and some old games, the games we would be most likely to purchase right now. And interestingly, sponsor of the show, Fun Again, has a holiday sale going on right now, Halloween sale. And actually, I've got a couple of games that are on that sale that really jumped out at me. That's why I really love doing this topic, because it's not just all Cults of the New. Every time we do this, we have reasons to look at some of the old things, maybe things people have forgotten or missed along the way.
Yeah, and that's the same here. Because of the spirit of the season, they've got the sale going on for Halloween, and the games I normally would pick. Yes, I picked some of those, but I also, because it's Halloween, I figured one or two scary or scary-ish type games should go on this list, and I can't wait to hear what's on yours, because I think I've got some really fun ones on my list, and I'm sure you do too.
Well, then let's stop teasing the people. How about we get going with your number 10?
Number 10. So this is new, and it is in the spirit of the season, Halloween. Number 10, Cryptid Urban Legends.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So Cryptid was a game, came out a couple of years ago, a big hit. It's normally something I don't play. It's got some hidden movement, some deduction. That was normally played 3 to, I think, 5 or 6 players. However, this Cryptid Urban Legends, Richard, it is a 2-player game.
Yes.
It's an asymmetric. Now, this one's a little more abstract from what I gather, but now you can play Cryptid with 2 players. So, the normal Cryptid, you needed multiplayers, and you're trying to find the monster, right? In this case, one player is going to be the monster trying to hide from the scientist who's trying to prove that, hey, there's a Cryptid out there. So you're going to be taking turns. It's an abstract game, so you're moving pieces around on the board. Hopefully you can find the monster, or hopefully you can evade them over a number of rounds, and you're going to be taking, it's very cat and mouse type game.
Yes, because one player is the scary cryptid monster, the other player is the cryptid hunters and all of that. Yep. Nothing like the previous cryptid game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where
very,
you're
very
trying,
different experience. 2 versus 1 versus 1 head to head.
Right. And again, it's, it is more abstract, whereas, the Cryptid, the original game, you actually had like a little notepad that you could take notes and stuff. And, it's like, okay, this is cool. Like I'm trying to play a detective. But here you are moving pieces on a board here. Those tiles, you're going to flip over and figure out, okay, is the Cryptid in this street or this corner? And, you gather, and finally you're going to make a guess and figure out, okay, are you here? Yes or no? Then boom, you win or not. So that's what it's right now. It's available on on Fun Again, Cryptid Urban Legends.
All right. Well, that is a nice one to start the list out, I must say. Perfectly timed for the holiday season. All righty.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the next one. And folks, I am a little rusty. Forgive me. Let me go on ahead and open this up. There it is. This is one taken directly from the holiday sale. It's number 9 on our combined list, Catacombs.
Oh,
now, I don't know if you know this game, Ruel.
I do, and I saw this on the list. I thought about, but I mean, that's a great price for
It's
this
a
game.
it's
But
a
anyways,
big box with a
Yeah.
big game. This is basically a 1 versus many disc flicking game. And this picture does not do it justice. When you set it up, this ring you put around the board, it takes up a sizable amount of space, but you want that because one player is the dungeon master who is flicking around a bunch of wide variety of monster discs who all have special powers and all that. And the rest of the players are the brave heroes trying to survive room after room after room. And it's a blast. Probably, I don't know. It's maybe a bit presumptuous for me to say greatest flicking game of all time, but it is up there. It is a top 3 candidate for sure. And the thing that separates it from all the others, all your pitch cars and your rampages, is this is actually a big, heavy, crunchy experience. If you want to play all the way through the full thing, you're going to go through several levels of the dungeon, and it'll take you a couple of hours. This is a big, long, lazy Sunday afternoon, fighting and leveling up your characters and, encountering traps and new monsters and always trying to outflick your opponents, hide behind all the pillars that are in the different rooms. This is just one of many of layouts that the game comes with, and it's really, really impressive. Jen and I, we've had this one for a long time. Makes me want to get it out and play it again. Number 9 on the list, Catacombs.
Yeah, this is a great one. I actually got to demo this in a store many years ago, and I was just blown away by how fun this one is. Now, greatest flicking game ever, definitely one of the top 4, 5, 3, definitely up there. But y'all know I'm a Crokinole fan, but this one.
Okay, yes. I will not assault that lofty. Yeah, Crokinole is unassailable. So
yeah, but this
maybe
one
I
does
meant
have
to
a
say
cool
maybe
theme.
the number 2.
Yeah, definitely. I'm okay with that. But it definitely has the cooler theme for sure. So
yes,
great
definitely.
choice, Catacombs. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our number 8 on our combined list here. Now, this is not a Halloween game, but it is available on sale at Fun Again Lowlands. Yeah, and have you played this one?
No,
yeah,
I have not.
I want you to check this one out because
I am well aware of it.
Yes, Uwe Rosenberg. Now, he didn't design this, but it is on his recommended list. I think his company did a few games that were on recommended by Uwe Rosenberg, and you'll see it. I mean, it is very much an Uwe game that was not designed by Uwe.
Yeah,
you've got.
Anybody would look at this picture and assume, that's clearly Uwe Rosenberg's latest farming super heavy crunchy simulation.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It is a farming simulation, but what you're doing, you've got pastures and you're trying to develop them so you can grow your sheep. You tend to your flocks of sheep. You're going to use them as income. You're in your city here or you're in the countryside. But what's really interesting about this, and I've played this twice, and I honestly thought it was a Rosenberg game for years until I found out it wasn't. But what's really interesting, if you see at the top of the board there's these dikes. So you're in the lowlands, folks, and there's water. They're going to be flooding your little pasture there, and you're going to lose your income, your sheep. Really sad, but at the same time, it's semi-cooperative. You all sort of want to put the dikes up so you'll save your sheep. So whoever helps with the dikes are going to get points. But at that time, it's this really interesting give and take. Do you go for the dikes and help get that, or do you go for the sheep, which will give you income?
And hope somebody else keeps the sea at bay.
Yeah, so it's a really nice push and pull, and it's a really clever game. I honestly thought it was a Rosenberg game, but it is not. But it's a fantastic Euro game. You got your tile placement, you got your worker placement. It's got this really cool mishmash of mechanisms, and I think you'd really love it. I think a lot of people watching this channel will really love it.
Have you played it?
Lowlands. I played it twice a couple of years ago.
Here's my question for you, because I almost pulled the trigger on this when it first came out, because this came out a few years ago, but I heard that it is less than ideal at 2.
I will have to agree with that. Yes.
Okay.
I have played it too, and it was fine. But the 3-player experience much better, just more interactive. And yeah, the 2-player, I think I forget exactly what it is. I know there's some adjustments that you make for 2 players, but overall, it's still a rock solid game. And if you're fans of Rosenberg, I think Lowlands would be your jam.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I mean, it is definitely, it's on my list of things to play at a convention or something like that, when we can sit down with 3 or 4 players, so you really get the full experience.
Agreed.
Okay, then let's move on from number 8 to number 7 on the list, and this one I can confirm works well with 2. It is Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Ooh,
oh
yes.
Yeah. I assume you must have played this. This is older. This is like
game.
A 6 or 7-year-old game, I think, right?
Yeah, love this game.
This is another one that is on the holiday sale list, and it makes perfect sense because in this game, we are, it's a cooperative game where we are a crew of pirates that have come across a ghost ship at sea full of scary skeletons, and it's on fire. And it's about to sink. And so what do? Well, of course, we board it and try to get as much gold as we can while fighting off pirates, stopping the spread of the fire to stay alive long enough to get out alive. It is such a wonderful, fun, and really just kind of light-hearted, evocative, light-spirited game with some really good gameplay. This was not the first published design from Kane Klenko, who has gone on to produce so many wonderful designs, but it was one of his first. This came out the same year as Fuse, I think. It was a nice 1-2. Yes. Hey, I'm going to do this really fun pandemic-inspired co-op game that people instantly fell in love with incredibly wonderful components. It was originally a Kickstarter, and it did really well, so they've got these, you don't have white cubes to represent skeletons, you got these really just some of the coolest pieces for pirate skulls I've ever seen that represent the skeletons running around. And there's just a lot of really interesting tension as the whole place is burning down around you and you're being attacked by pirate skeletons while trying to amass as much booty as possible. The design is sharp. The players have special powers. You have to worry about fatigue if you're carrying too much stuff because you want to get everything back out to your dinghy and get away. Really sharp, very fun. And interestingly, this is in the the Halloween sale, as is the expansion. I noticed it's on there too. And I've played the base game. I have never played the expansion, and I'm really curious to do it. Because my only complaint about the original Dead Men Tell No Tales was it was a fine co-op, really well designed, but Jen, I found it a little bit too easy, even played at the higher difficulty levels. So I'm really keen to try it with the expansion, which I'd never seen before. What's the name of the expansion? Dead Men Tell No Tales. The Kraken. Because a Kraken shows up too.
Yeah. Oh, what a wonderful choice. Yeah, I really love this game. It's if you've the artwork in this is spectacular. Mm-hmm. It is gorgeous, especially that cover. Oh my goodness.
The dice that represent the flames are just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Just wonderfully produced, and just. I would always call it pandemic meets Flashpoint, right? You got the pandemic thing.
I don't know why that didn't occur to me. I feel pretty stupid now because, of course, that is the elevator pitch. Pirates of the Caribbean, pandemic meets Flashpoint. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put out fires. Yeah, great choice. Oh, now I want to play that game. It's been a couple of years since I played it,
and release the Kraken.
Face the Kraken. Let's move on to our number 6 on our list. We're going to keep with the holiday theme here. Halloween coming right up. The number 6 that we have is a classic, Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, as gamers, veteran gamers, we know this game is broken, folks. There's all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's a good opening sales pitch.
Yeah, right. We're gonna keep it real. That's how we keep it real on this show. There are some things that are broken, but the thing is, thematic wise, I absolutely love this game. I've played it several times, and it's always fun to see, who's gonna haunt, who's gonna do the haunt.
Now explain what that means for people who haven't played it.
Yeah, so folks, as you're playing this game, you're in a house, you're laying down tiles like, okay, here's this room, that room, and it's haunted. And eventually one of the people playing is gonna go on a hunt, which basically turns the game from a cooperative game into a one versus all game. And there's a bunch of different scenarios. Not all of them work. Sometimes they can go long, sometimes they go really short. But thematically, this game is on point for Halloween. Now, there is some stuff that isn't, I would say it's definitely scary. Some is not scary. Me personally, when I'm in a house and I hear about plumbing issues, that's the scariest of them all. But, if y'all know the story of what I'm going through right now. But anyways, that aside, there are really cool, they take a lot of different mythologies and throw them in here. Like some are going to be, the undead. Some are going to be, cryptids or monsters or whatever. But you never know what's going to pop up. And, there are problems with some of the components for in the second edition. Now, there's a third edition which is on sale right now. This is the third edition,
yes.
Yeah, which I don't know. I believe that they've fixed some of those component issues. But as far as experience goes, if you're looking for something for Halloween, I think this is one of the best out there for experiences. That is Betrayal at House on the Hill.
You know what? That is the best way to put it. It's less of a game and more of a shared experience. If you go in expecting, that's what when you said it's broken. No, the game works, but it's just sometimes it's wonky. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes you get unexpected consequences. But it is unmatched in terms of just creating an atmosphere and a very memorable experience every time you play it. Really.
Yeah, and that's what it is, because I remember all the games I've played, and like, oh, that's when I went on a hunt this time, I messed everyone up, or the other way around. It's like, oh, remember when so-and-so did this, and they're up on, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but, you will remember this experience, folks. And that's why it's our number 6 on the list, Betrayal House on the Hill.
Okay, well, cool. That's a big one. By the way, remember, folks, that's another, really, you want to have at least 3 players to play kind of a game.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. Okay, but the next one works beautifully at any player count. It's number 5 on the list, Luna Capital.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I know you love this one as much as me.
Nice call.
And here's the deal. I don't think this is officially on the sale list, but I found it in the Ding and Dent section.
Oh my gosh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard, I think this made my top 10 of the year when it came out. It is a really wonderful, light on rules, but heavy on crunch and tension game about building moon bases or competing to build the best city on the moon to become the new Luna capital. And this is an entwined drafting game where on your turn you are going to get you're going to have to pick from one of these different silos a landscape card and environment, habitat buildings, and you have to take them together. And then you have to try and get all these cards to puzzle together, jigsaw puzzle style, in front of you with some incredibly harsh restrictions. Like, oh my gosh. Another one, this will mean nothing to you folks because you didn't watch the extended play. This is another great game, Sommelier. Delta.
Oh, yes.
Delta.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't forgotten about you, Delta. Definitely check out Luna Capital. And for the rest of you folks, it's really fun. The draft is tense. The trying to lay out the cards in the correct order, but then also give yourself enough building space to put the correct buildings in the correct space so they'll work well with each other. They didn't need to do it, but it's really cool. All the tiles are held in this little rocket ship. It's just a nice little touch from DeVere, but the gameplay is just absolutely stellar. So much fun. It's a double-decker tile layer. The cards you get are the first layer, and then you're trying to put tiles on top of those cards. All kinds of different restrictions, all kinds of really hard work. And then also the game just grows and grows. The longer it goes, the bigger your potential space gets. It's really very impressive, which is why when I saw it on the Ding and Dent list, I had to mention number 5, Luna Capital.
Yeah, what a great choice. And, I feel like maybe it's just me, but are we in the golden age of tile laying games? I feel like we are.
Yes.
Right? There's so many great tile laying games. Yeah. I mean, again, folks, watch that extended show. We talk about some tile laying games there. Luna Capital is fantastic. Okay. Let's move on to our number 4.
Okay.
Now, this one is not a tile laying game, but this one, honestly, it could be my number 1. It's Star Wars: The Clone Wars, a pandemic system game.
Ah, yes. Yes.
We love Pandemic. We love Star Wars. What happens when you mash them up? Oh my gosh, this is it. I cannot wait to play this.
Cult of the Old is over. Cult of the New time now.
Cult of the New. Yeah. So we're taking Pandemic, folks. We are, we're reskinning it, but it's not just a reskin. It adds some new elements here. I mean, look at the galaxy far, far away there. It looks awesome, and you're going to be Jedis going from planet to planet, trying to take care of the Separatist army. You've got, all the clones. I mean, it works perfectly for the theme and the mechanisms, right? I mean, look at those. You've got little. Gosh, is that General Grievous? Oh,
General Grievous.
I'm freaking out just looking at this.
Characters from the movies and from the animated TV series aplenty.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So again, those clones are going to be growing. It's your job to stop them, pandemic style. But the cool thing is, you're actually going to go into some combat too, which I did not expect, but I love it. I'm really so excited about this. You're going to go into combat, and the number of cards in your hand, that's how many hit points you have. So can you survive all the droids and all the baddies out there? Richard, I am so fired up about this game. I cannot wait to get this on my table. I know you're excited about this.
It's like it was made for you, really.
Right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love Pandemic. Pandemic's the game that got me in the hobby years ago. And then I've loved Star Wars in my entire life. So to put those two, I mean, it's like a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, folks. Two great tastes into one. And that's why it's our number 4, Star Wars The Clone Wars, a Pandemic System game.
I like you went the extra mile and typed out the entire name down there at the bottom of the screen. That's a long title.
Yeah.
Or you could just call it Pandemic
So,
Star Wars too.
yeah, but I want to do the whole name.
Yep. Fair enough. Okay, yeah. Well, yep. I am not surprised that was on your list. Quite frankly, I fully expected to see it. What I am surprised by is apparently there's something you rated even higher. What I can't even imagine what that must be.
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to find out real soon.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we will move on to the next one on my list, which is, it's kind of something old and something new. It is number 3 on the list, Ultimate Railroads.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
So what this is Russian railroads, but with all of the expansions, the American railroads, the German railroads, the everything put into basically big box format. And the original Russian railroads is so incredibly brilliant. Looks like they have no gameplay pictures. Let me just do a quick search for Rado Russian Railroad so we can put some video on the screen. There we go. This is, at its heart, a very simple worker placement game. Like really, kind of to the metal in terms of how the systems work. But throughout the game, it is so incredibly tight and tense because there are only a few worker placement spots available to be able to get the ideal thing you want. The board tightens up incredibly fast, and it's to get the resources you need, to get the people you need, to be working on 3 different rail lines simultaneously. And there is no way you can finish all of them. This is a game where you have to focus on one or the other. Maybe you try, I'll get 2 of them 2/3 of the way, and the other one I'm really going to kind of ignore. But, these days, throw a rock and you're going to hit some new game coming out that is full of all kinds of explosive combo action. But when this game came out a few years ago, that was not all that common. But the thing is, as you do your worker placement to get the resources you need to build your lines longer and longer, those lines have all kinds of sub-steps that says, oh, well, when you hit this, grab 3 of those things. Oh, and because I grabbed 3 of those things, that means I got to extend the other line. No, because I hit that one. So this game is incredibly rich and satisfying, full of what I like to think of as the Gone Shown Clever style combo stuff, but in a really crunchy, meaty game. And I have played both the German railroads and the American railroads expansion, and they both add so much additional stuff. This is an incredibly popular series of games, ranks really, really high on Board Game Geek with very, very good reason. And when I guess somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew that it was coming out with like a new big box expansion and all of that. And when I saw it here, when we were doing our research last night to figure out, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. If I didn't already have all this stuff, there is no way I would not seek out number 3 on the list, Ultimate Railroads.
Very nice, very nice. I'm laughing at myself right now because I'm looking at the one that I have from our number 2, which is I ranked higher than Star Wars.
Yes, what could it be?
Right after we talked about Star Wars, I was like, oh shoot, I probably should have put Star Wars at number 2 and this one number 4, but that's okay.
All right.
Because I when I put together the list, I was excited because the season that we're in, the Halloween season. I'm excited about it. This weekend we've got Halloween coming up, and that's why our number 2 is Horrified Universal Monsters.
Okay.
Given the spirit of the season, Horrified, folks, it is a wonderful cooperative game. It does put in a little pick up and deliver, and it changes things up from the typical pandemic style cooperative. So what you're doing here, you're going to battle against the different monsters, classic Frankenstein, creature from Black Lagoon, and so forth. And you have different ways to defeat them. And what's neat is you're going to pick out a couple of monsters at the start of the game. They're never going to be the same monsters every game. So it's up to you and your team to get like the stake to put through, Dracula's heart or whatever it is, and so forth. So it's a really neat system. And what I love too, again, I think there's a theme within the games I've chosen. It's all about the theme this week for me, folks. We've got the Star Wars theme, we've got the Universal Monsters theme. It really comes through in this game as you team up to defeat them. It's a lot of fun. Michelle and I love this one, and actually, our friends Daryl and Abby, we had such a great time playing this on a New Year's Eve of all times. It wasn't a scary holiday at all, but it was a lot of fun to hang out with friends and play Universal Monsters. Horrified is another one, just like Betrayal, that I think is perfect to play during a Halloween get together, and that's why it's our number 2 on our list of games that I'd buy right now.
Makes sense. Cannot argue with it. Such a hugely, monstrously popular series. I will have to admit, though, it's a bit too lightweight for me and Jen. I mean, it is.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, that's not slight on it at all. It's just pretty lightweight. I mean, it's kind of in the same realm as introductory Flashpoint when it boils right down to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, agreed. Now, I was wondering, this does have that pick up and deliver element, where you're trying to get the items.
There is a lot of traipsing around the village to get the thing, to take the thing, to do the thing at the place where the thing happens and all of that.
Yeah.
Not our favorite, but I will not deny how immensely popular it is. So, and I mean, was it on the Halloween list? Was it on the Halloween series?
I believe it was. Yeah, that's where I found it.
Of course. Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of Arkham Horror, the card game expansions. There's a lot of Nemesis was on the list. A lot of really good stuff on sale right now that's perfect for the season. And I mean, if you're looking for a wonderful pandemic-esque cooperative game that is even lighter than Pandemic, which is going to be great for gateway gamers. It makes a lot of sense, especially if there's a fondness for the subject matter. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just seen the little minis of the Frankenstein and A Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, that throws me back to, I would watch those shows I remember seeing them in black and white, right? And they weren't scary, but it's just fun. It's a really fun throwback to those.
Movies. It really brings that whole thing to life. It was done with a lot of love and care. I agree.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool. Well, we've gone from a very lightweight thing to, I'm going to say, probably the heaviest, crunchiest game we are talking about today. Number 1 on the list for me is Tawantinsuyu.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And
the little caption below.
Hey, how about we update that? How about we do the old Control S and save? And come on, what is going on here? Control save. I'll fix it in post. But anyway, what the heck? Wow, it's completely broken.
Did it just died? Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I'm pasting into the wrong spot. Folks, I've been away for a couple of weeks. I'm a little rusty. Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Ruel, for keeping me on track. And thanks to Dave Turchi and Board and Dice for designing such a great game. Here's the reason. I mean, this came out a while ago, earlier in the year. I think a lot of people have had their time with it. It is the latest in the T game series. Oh, actually, it's not. Now, Tealetum just came out, and I played Tealetum. And after having played Tealetum, I have played every game in the T series. And the reason I want to talk about this is because this is the best one. As far as I'm concerned, this is, that is not necessarily, a lot of people are going to be Tekken or Tekkenu or Teotihuacan or not, but I cannot stress just how wonderful I find this game. And Jen and I, it's just perfect for us. And, at first glance, admittedly, a Byzantine, very busy board where you look at this, and this is a game where we start at the top of a pyramid, Tawantinsuyu, and our workers kind of cascade their way down, and where they land on the second determines where can they go on the third. Or do they stay on the second and spend extra to move around, to grab all the resources they need to do all the Euro-y T-Series style stuff. I don't even need to break down. Hey, you're going to work your way up tracks. Hey, you're going to unlock special powers. Hey, you're going to do all that stuff. But all of it driven by this wonderful cascading pyramid worker placement scheme. It's not the first game to do it, but I think it does it better than any other one. And for me, and again, this is going to be a controversial statement, but I've played them all, and as a 2-player game, which is really my focus, Tawantinsuyu is the best. And when I saw how low, for the low price you could get it for at Board and Dice, I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about this and how impressed I am by this game, because I don't think it has caught as much fire in a bottle as the other T-Series games has, and I don't want people to forget it, because Tawantinsuyu, the Inca Empire, is phenomenal, which is why it is number 1 on the list this time.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I wonder why it hasn't caught on fire like the other T games. But anything these days from Board and Dice, I mean, they're worth looking into. And
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't played this one. Yeah, I've loved the other T games, so this one's probably it should be on my list to play. So great call, great choices this week.
All right. We had something old, something new, and folks, were your ears peeled? Did you hear one of us say the secret word plumbing? I hope so, because if you did, that means you could win a $50 gift certificate that could go towards the purchase of maybe some of these games. Once again, send that email to contest@rahdo.com. The name of the game, do not put the word plumbing in the subject. Put the name of the game in the subject, send it in, and if you got the right game, you will be entered to win. And otherwise, well, I think we are Dunsville, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well, again, welcome back. Well done. I mean, I think the rust is all off, and you're back in the saddle again, friend.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, I'm stifling the urge. Back in the saddle again. I'm back. Yep. All right. You bring it out of me somehow.
Yes.
Alrighty then. Well, then thank you everybody for watching. We're about to go do the post show now, which again, if you want some more of this, hit that eye in the top right corner screen, follow the show notes, check out the extended edition. We're going to talk about some of the other games that just missed the list and probably do some Q&A with the audience. But otherwise, folks, thank you for watching. Thank you, Ruel, for joining me with some really great picks. And thanks to Fun Again Games for sponsoring the show. Have a nice day, everybody. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye. Oh boy, it's like riding a bike.
Hey, yeah. Well done. Let's see, check chat real quick. Chat is still here. And
they haven't all abandoned us?
They haven't abandoned us yet. Bing just showed up. Hi, Bing.
Oh, hello.
We have a couple of questions queued up.
Okay.
That we can do. Let's see. I saw Wes Lloyd's first, so I'm going to put Wes Lloyd's up here. Have you tried Smitten from Stonemaier?
No, I have not.
I have.
I'm down for anything from Stonemaier at this point.
Same. Yeah, I got a copy. I enjoyed it.
I do not.
Yeah. It's a very well. You know, here's the thing. They had that 10-year anniversary they just celebrated, and if you bought anything on that day, they gave you the Smitten for free. So I bought a
so it just showed up. Okay, that's cool.
It just showed up, yeah, and it was neat because I totally forgot about it. I knew I was getting the shirt, then it showed up. I was like, oh, I got a game too. It's a wonderful little game. It's like a little puzzle. It's got 18 cards, so it's a micro game.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Love Letter meets a like a puzzle. You play one card, or you draw one card, then you play a card, and then you're gonna try to puzzle it out with this awesome Vincent Dutray artwork. It's really cool.
What kind of package does it have? Is it like a little button shy, a little wallet thing, or?
Yeah, almost like a button shy game, but it's paper. It's like totally sustainable. Yeah, so it's for $10. I mean, I got it for free because of the special, but $10 totally worth it.
Cool,
wonderful little game. Yeah.
Let's move on. By the way, thank you for the subscription, Command Nulan. I'm just going to say that's how you pronounce it. I'm totally wrong, I'm sure. Your little avatar will be showing up down there at the bottom of the screen shortly. Direct message me if you can't find the secret word. That's for all subscribers. If you couldn't hear the secret word, you don't have to go back and watch the show 3 times. Just direct message me here or via the whisper system, and I'll just tell you because I heard it. I thought that was very nicely put in. Very smart.
I thought I jammed it in there, but
yeah. I thought you did a pretty good job.
Thank you. Here's Tibby Baloo is here. They asked, have you tried any of the fan-made content for Horrified? They have monsters and a campaign on campaign, really? Ooh. I found the fan-made ones more difficult to defeat, but I liked a few. I have not, Tibby Baloo, and I'm totally interested in that. I love that they actually made a campaign and have some fan-made monsters. Very cool. Let's go to... Have either of you watched the new R&R Show yet? Maybe my favorite Star Wars show to date. I'm going to tell you this. I watched the first one. I haven't watched anything else. I've just not had the time. So no spoilers, folks. I need to watch it.
I guess you have to turn in your Chewbacca hoodie then.
Pretty much, yeah. As far as excited as it was for that Star Wars Pandemic game, I've fallen by the wayside here. I don't know what happened. But have you enjoyed the R&R Show?
I watched the first 10 or 15 minutes of it. Okay. And then I realized... Wait a minute. Why am I watching this? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things. How it is
Yeah.
the most mature and
Yep.
and not mature, not mature and gross, but just mature in that it has really thoughtful storytelling. Just it happens to be set in the Star Wars, and it's more of a character study
Yeah.
than it is a Star War, and so that attracts me. But by the same token, I am so burned out on Star Wars TV. I haven't liked any of it, and I know this is the best one, and I should watch it. But honestly, I'm too busy enjoying She-Hulk, which was amazing. Now it's over now. So I guess
heard that was really good.
I guess She-Hulk is done. So I guess I could jump over, and I've heard nothing but amazing things. But I have no enthusiasm for it whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay.
If it had been set in the prequels and it was bright, sunny, shiny, colorful world, it's like, I mean, he's just walking around in all these dank, dark corridors on stormy, foggy nights, and like, do I want to live in this place for 9 hours? And everything's dirty and rusty, and I get it. That's Star Wars, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hear you. Victory BHC says, have you looked at the Asian Railroads expansion of Ultimate Railroad? Seems like quite a huge thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. Did you know?
I had no idea. I'm very embarrassed now. I should have read the small print. I thought it was just a collection of... Geez, I might have to edit in. Oh, and by the way, thanks to Victory for pointing out there's whole new content in here too. I will probably have to edit that into the final version because I don't want to look stupid. No, I had no idea, but now I'm even more excited.
Okay. Bing was asking, can you fit Horrified American and Universal? I have no idea, Bing, if you can fit those into one. Here. Is it Kim asks, are you getting rid of Tawantinsuyu? If so, why? Noticed it in the to-go pile in one of your last videos.
That was well spotted, yes. Tawantinsuyu, I think it's fantastic. I think it's absolutely great. But Jen was just kind of so-so on it. She thought, it's fine. I enjoyed my time with it. But I would never ask to play this game. I would just go along with it if somebody else wanted to play. And I know why that is. I actually talked about it in my final thoughts because it's not just Jen. I've seen several other people who had early copies of it saying, this is kind of it's fine. It's okay. Whereas for me, it's like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And it's because there's two halves to that game. And again, I talked about this in final thoughts with examples and all that. But there's the relatively fresh new dice drafting. Dice go around a rondelle. They have their multi-use dice and trying to grab all that stuff feels really fresh and new and wonderful. But all of it drives what might as well be turn and taxis or similar incredibly old Euro from 15 years ago. The second half, I mean, I wouldn't blame anybody for thinking, is that Hansa Teutonica? Because it looks like it. And it's really, you're not doing anything other than just, you're going around. And that part of the game is fine. But it doesn't really spark passion. But I think, so people look at that and say, but look at what I'm actually doing. The important thing is, you're not doing a particularly exciting thing over there, but you're doing it to unlock, I talked about this in the show, this is another game that's just full to the brim of big super combo turns. Well, okay, it wasn't that exciting to walk from Amsterdam to Milan over 2 turns, slowly but surely. But now that I got there, I'm the first one to get there. I get this bonus that I plug into that, and that unlocks a thing, and it does a thing, and thing, and thing. And that bing, or that jackpot style, bing, 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 happens a lot in the game. And but I don't blame anyone, my wife included, for not being excited that, the whole second half of the game is just kind of, wow, I feel like I've done this a lot. And they didn't really do anything that exciting with that.
Interesting.
So it's not staying on our shelves because, hey, we both got to be excited for it these days because I'm out of shelf room.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have a copy back here that I'm going to be soloing hopefully soon.
Well, I mean, I'll be interested to see if you feel the same or if you feel different. Because I thought it was great. And I was really surprised when Jim was like, it's fine. I'm like, why are you saying that? But then I saw several channels, like, they were saying the same thing. And I saw other channels, they were like, oh my God, they were as excited as me. So it is interesting. But anyway, this next question.
All right. Next question. Have you tried Horrified American Monsters? If yes, can you compare the two Horrifieds? I have not.
Then no, you cannot.
Okay.
I certainly can't.
Oh, here's one. Speaking of T games, do you consider Terracotta Army as a T game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? it's a. I used to be much more specific. No, it has to specifically be Tassini and all that. But everybody in the universe says nope. If it's published by Board and Dice and it starts with T, it's a T game. Okay, fine. And yes, I have. And Terracotta Army is great, but Tawantinsuyu, for my taste, is much better. Terracotta Army, the area control element of it it can be pretty brutal.
Yeah. That's another one that's on my shelf here, ready to be played. Any thoughts for the or hopes for the upcoming Black Panther movie? I haven't really thought about it. Have you?
I know an Ant-Man Wasp Mania or Quantumania trailer just showed up yesterday. I'm not going to watch it. I don't watch anything. I don't understand. Why would anybody want to spoil anything? You know you're going to see it. There's no reason to watch the trailer. I didn't watch the Black Panther 2 trailer either. I literally want to know nothing, if at all possible. It's hard, living on the internet like we do. I'm constantly, every time I go to Twitter, oh dear, I saw an image. I saw a shot of a claw coming into camera from down here like this. No! Okay, it's not that big a deal. There's going to be claws on the new Black Panther suit, but I don't want to know anything. Yeah. I really liked the first one. I thought it was great. I very much appreciate it as a cultural milestone that it was, and yes. I think that's amazing. I don't think it was the best Marvel movie, really, because it was let down by the final act. Because honestly, I don't think the final confrontation was not great. It was very CGI, just, two indestructible characters, nothing particularly exciting. Yeah. And the whole, look at the big thing that's happening. I'm trying to avoid spoilers for folks. I mean, but everybody's seen it, right? I don't think what they do in the third act, it's like the big world-changing event, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. I do not think the events that led up to that, it didn't make sense to me. And I'm like, why is this happening? This is ridiculous. This is manufactured drama to have a big Marvel bombastic ending. And I mean, I would have rather it just stayed small and focused on what they did in the first the first third and the middle third was amazing. Killmonger was such an amazing character. But it's in the final hour, let's just do the big Marvel blow everything up thing. And so that really kind of let me down. And whereas the first half of the movie was amazing.
I totally agree with your assessment. That's how I felt too. That first 2/3 of the movie is so compelling. Killmonger, Black Panther, but then that last third, it's like, okay, now we're just gonna do the typical Marvel stuff.
It's well done. It's fine.
Yeah, it is. But it's fine. But they definitely ran out of steam for that last third. But as far as the second one, I mean the new one, I haven't really thought about it. Here's a game question. Forrest Glass, either of you got to play Deal with the Devil yet? Thoughts? I have not.
I probably will never play because it's a 4-player minimum game. I'd certainly sit down and play it. I know Dice Tower savaged it. Oh my gosh.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. All 4s and 3s. Yeah, they ripped it apart.
Wow.
This is brave, and I applaud them for trying, but I think is the Too Long Don't Read of their response to it. Which honestly just makes me want to try it even more, quite frankly.
Kim asked, did you manage to get a copy of Ottawa or Atiwa? Or any thoughts? How do you say that?
I'm going to say Ottawa.
Ottawa.
That was my number one most anticipated. I'm looking forward to it. I imagine I'll get it. I did get my number 2 most anticipated.
Ooh, what's that?
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc? Oh, wow.
I've got that. A Rado fan, thank you, Alejandro, was there. And this wasn't too much to carry back, obviously. You can see it's very small. It's very light. It's Orleans, the role-playing game. Or, I'm sorry, the Roll and Write game.
Roll and Write,
and so he brought me back that, and I'm very excited. In fact, not next week, but I think the week after, I will be streaming it solo live in 2 Tuesdays. I think. It looks like it's getting the votes right now. Backers of the show get to vote on what I cover from month to month. And it looks like it's getting the votes. Here's the interesting thing. It's Orleans in roll and write form. Joan of Arc has nothing to do with it unless you play solo. If you play solo, you go up against Joan of Arc. So I feel like I really have to demo this solo. If they think their solo is so good, they name the game after their solo mode, even if it is, most people won't play it solo. So that's really interesting. So I'm excited about that. But Ottawa, I really hope to get my hands on it sooner than later. Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. We got one more question, and maybe we can do. We got time to do like a this or that, or
you think?
One
okay,
of the other
all
things. Right. Yeah. Kabuki asks, "Have you checked out the new Quantum Leap? I like that it basically continues the story rather than rebooting everything and disregarding the original series."
Yes, thank everybody.
I haven't watched it yet.
No offense to the Lady Ghostbuster movie, which I enjoyed very much, but honestly, I would have enjoyed it so much more if they would have said, "Oh, by the way, I'm the daughter of Venkman or whatever," and that's what they did for the second. Honestly, I thought the All Lady Ghostbuster movie was a better, more enjoyable movie than the true sequel. Which again, man, I'm dropping all kinds of controversial bombs today, but I do appreciate it when they keep the canon going. And which ones we were talking about? Quantum Leap. Wow. Yeah, when they start talking about Al in the first or second episode and what has happened in the 20 years since the original Quantum Leap, I got a little verklempt. I got a little emotional about it. Because that was a show we loved back in the 90s, I guess, right? In the 90s.
Yep.
Have you watched it?
I watched bits and pieces of it back in the day. It wasn't really my jam for whatever reason, but I know of it, and
right. And so therefore you have not sought out the new one, I'm sure.
Yeah, I haven't, but I've heard good things about it along these lines, that they have continued it, but in taking a new spin on it, which I think is the right way to go.
It drives me nuts and it's stupid, but in the opening. The original had a narrator opening that you watch every week, and the new one has. And the original opening ends with that hopefully the next leap will be the leap home. And for some reason they changed it with this new show. Hopefully the next leap will be the leap that returns him to his friends and family. Like, what? Oh, it's just like every time they say that every week, I just stumble and fall. And then also he never says "oh boy." Which I would have loved, but it's okay. Yeah. He doesn't have a catchphrase, but I guess catchphrases are so 90s. Nobody wants a catchphrase ananymore. But yeah, we're enjoying it. It's well done, and it is cool. Great to see the story continue. Definitely.
Yeah, that's I've heard nothing but good things. You know what? Instead of doing this or that, why don't we talk about the games that didn't make our
Yes, we promised we would
10.
do that. Yes. Where's my listy list? I sent my listy list to our mutual friend. Where did I send that to him? I sent it to him in email, didn't I? I got to find email. Do you have your listy list to hand?
I do, yeah.
Well, then.
And I had more than 10, actually. So
we'll go.
The ones that didn't make the list, Free Ride.
Ruel.
Yeah, Free Ride, a game by Friedman Freeze, another F game from Mr. Freeze.
Which one? That's the one where the animals ride around on the back, right?
Yes.
And great game, but you need 3 or 4 players, which is true for most.
Oh, really?
Games.
Man.
Oh, totally. Honestly, it's ridiculous that they put 2-player on it. They shouldn't. They don't earn.
They actually said you could solo it. It's 1 to 5 players.
Really? I didn't actually look at the solo. That's interesting. It'd probably be better than solo than it too. I would say. Got
it. Okay. The other one on my list are Key to the Kingdom. This is from Restoration Games. They redid a game from like the 80s or 90s, brought it up to date, and that caught my eye because it's got Andrew Bosley art. It looks beautiful. And then let's see. From our friends at Board and Dice, Traintopia. I've never played this game, but it looks cool. It's got its tile lane with a train theme on it. And let's see, the others I had Moon Adventure, which is basically deep sea adventure, but on the moon. And it's, I believe it's more cooperative rather than adversarial. Another game that on my list that was on my Ding and Dent list, actually, I found Pulsar 2849.
Yes, I almost put that on the list when I saw it on the Ding and Dent. I was very, very close.
And the other one I had was Tidal Blades Banner Festival. I love the world of Tidal Blades, and I want to see more games take place in this world.
Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't make your list.
Yeah, it was on there, but the spirit of the season grabbed me. Halloween. Sure, I wanted to throw some more Halloween stuff.
Yeah, it's more of a summertime game.
Yeah, that's definitely more of a summertime game. It's got the Tidal Blades awesome world, and it's got this one is a trick taking / area control game. Sort of like, I think, a lighter version of Brian Boru, from what the description I checked out. But those are the games on my list. Did you find your list?
I found it. It took me a little while. Tiny Epic Defenders, the Dark War expansion was there. That was on the Halloween list, and I totally would have done it, except the main game itself was not. And they have the main game, so I thought, well, I could put this on here and then talk about it, but it just felt a bit weird. I really didn't want to focus on... I always like to focus on main games, unless it's... the Dark War expansion is great. So I thought about that one, but it was just like, that's going to be too confusing to talk about. The one's on the Halloween list and the other one isn't. If it had been the game that was on the Halloween list and the expansion that wasn't, that would have made more sense. But because I had one that both were there, right? Which one did I have? Oh, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Because they had the game and the expansion both on the list. So I was like, okay, yeah, cool. If they'd done the same thing for Tiny Epic Defenders, the new 2nd edition, I totally would have talked about that. Streets was another one, which I think was on the sale list, if I recall correctly. Or maybe I found it in the Ding and Dent. I found it as a really crazy good price. Streets, a very cool tile-laying game. Ooh, is that another game sommelier entry for Streets?
Ooh, maybe. Wow.
That's a really interesting tile layer / engine builder. I can't stop doing the sommeliering. Fantasy Realm Deluxe. They've got that now. And but I forget, we just talked about remix, the Marvel Fantasy Realms game last time, so I didn't want to do 2 back-to-back, but I almost did it. Oh, and they have the Ark Nova Zoo map pack, which I just got to get for myself. It's like $8. Best game of last year, or second best. So, but again, that felt just a bit silly, making that like an entire entry kind of thing. Oh, what else? They also, on the Halloween list, I'm really close to putting on Circadian's First Light. Because talk about an overlooked, brilliant little game. Talk about, by the way, there's another good sommelier suggestion for somebody who loves the dice of... because it's a dice worker placement game, but we roll our dice and figure out what actions are going to do behind a screen and then reveal, like Fresco or Dungeon Pets, but with dice worker placement. And it's really, really cool. It's at a low price, but the thing is, I'll explain it now. I didn't want to make it part of the short show. Here's the thing you have to understand, folks. There's about to be a second edition coming out, and the second edition has some new content in it. And if you get this, and then you decide, I like it enough that I'll have to get the extra content, then you're going to have to buy an upgrade kit. And then that would have been more expensive getting this plus the upgrade kit. It's cheaper to get this, but, and I was like, that's too much. That's too much. But, I mean, I will say Circadian's First Light is fantastic, and it was another one that was on the sale list.
Very nice. Okay, folks, there you go. Those are all the games we didn't talk about during the main show.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes here.
Well, hey, before we go, I wanted to mention, because I'm worried, there were some big games that launched on Kickstarter today. A smaller one that Amy and Maggie did a run-through for, and I put it up a couple of days ago. Definitely, if you like deck building with some fresh, interesting stuff, amazing art, a little bit of take that, just a little bit to mess with your opponents, and a charming little theme, go check out my run-through for Survival of the Fattest. Because, Queen's Dilemma just launched today. That's getting all the attention, right? Yep. And a sweet little game that from a small little independent publisher is going to have a harder time. So, folks, if you didn't already check out Amy and Maggie's preview on the channel, Survival of the Fattest, take a look at it. If you like dice or deck-building card games, it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I just saw the video go up the other day, so I need to check that out as well. Someone in chat had just commented real quick. They asked, Forest of Glass says, holiday themed games we picked up this month: Abomination, The Heir of Frankenstein, and Witchstone. Any thoughts out there on either? I'm going to pitch my channel over there on Ruel Gaviola's YouTube channel. I actually did my own top 10 list of Halloween games, and Abomination made it. Yeah, so check that out, friend. Witchstone, that one I think you have talked about on the show before, haven't you?
Which one?
Witchstone?
Yes, Witchstone is great. It's really interesting. It's a Reiner Knizia game where he does the rarest of things in his career. He collaborated with another designer. And honestly, I think he should do that more often. I mean, his work is always great anyway, but Witchstone was really a cut above. Very, very sharp game.
Yeah, I can't wait to play
it. It was a keeper. We kept it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good to know. We're just about out of time, so why don't we get ready to raid?
Yeah, let's find somebody.
Ooh,
do you see anybody you like?
Yeah, Ray over on Czech Games Edition is playing something scary right now.
Yes.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're playing. Ooh, Exit the Game Polar Station. I wanted to check this one out. So
okay, hold on. It's CZECH Czech Games Edition. Okay,
correct.
All right, folks, you know how this works. Tell them Rahdo and Ruel sent you. Don't forget, you do actually have Rahdo Raid emotes. They're in 2 halves. Are they still there? I know we set them up a while ago. Yeah, the Rahdo shows a beagle and a chicken, and the other half is the chicken and me. It's a Rahdo Raid, cool little 2-size thing. So go get them, folks, Spoilers, though, it is an escape game, but I'm sure it'll be a blast. Ray is fantastic, and let me find the big button. I'm going to start the raid, and now we're doing the countdown.
Yep. Thanks again, everybody.
Yep. And we'll see you again soon, everybody. Next week I'll be live streaming the monthly Rahdo Roundup. And then we'll be doing this if the voters will have it. And we'll be back doing this pretty soon, too. Talk to you, everybody. So long. Raid! Go! And hopefully it goes. I'm giving no indication that it didn't go.
It went. There it is.
Yep. Okay. Phew. All right.
Cool.
Every time we do this, I'm terrified because it just went so bad the very first time.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
I'm going to get going. Great show again.
Yep. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.
I can't wait for you to get back home.
Same here. Thanks, man.
All right. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye.